Dead man talking. Tonight's story is another fantastic installment in the series from the wonderful mind of Smokey Beardman. As ever, please do let us know down below in the comments what you thought. Please do like and share and help build the channel and our community further. And of course, don't forget to hashtag Team Fear. If you yourself have a story you'd like to share with us here on the show, please do get it over to me on the website, which is www.dmtforestofear.com. And so, without further ado, let's get into tonight's story, entitled The Naturals, the Seer. Let's get straight into that. I made my way to the principal's office, trying to figure out what I'd done wrong this time. There was no way anyone knew I was the one who glued Tommy Shapiro's rear to his chair in geometry class. He was a bully anyways, so no jury would convict me. The art class stink bomb was gas and go, and so I was nowhere near the room by the time the effects would have been noticed. I didn't have a doctor's appointment. I was at a loss, hoping this wasn't some family emergency. I made my way into the office. Hello, Sean. Mr. Jameson's in his office waiting for you. Your parents are in there as well as another gentleman. What's going on? What did I do this time? That you will find out soon enough. Go on in. A stupid question, but I'd be amiss if I didn't ask. Do you need any help? No, I know the way. I know you do. I see you more often than I see my grandkids. And with that, I made my way into the principal's office, mentally preparing myself for whatever fresh hell awaited me in there. Ah, Sean, we've been waiting for you. Hello, Mr. Jameson. Am I in trouble or is it something else? Ah, straight to the point. Good man. This voice I didn't recognize. I turned my head to the man that had just spoken. Interesting. Sean, honey, this is Mr. Costus. He has a special program that might benefit you more than this school. Whoa. I told you, I don't want to go to a blind school. I can still see. You know. Well, mostly. Kinda. This isn't a school for the blind. We specialize in kids with slight disabilities but very special abilities. I hear that you used to train in martial arts and have some weapons training, and that since the accident, you haven't been able to take lessons. Or more accurately, you don't have a trainer who knows how to work with you. We have trainers who could teach you, and well, we also have programs that provide top-notch education, not to mention other high-value opportunities. Why? Why what, sweetie? My mother could be dense sometimes, but I wanted answers. Why should I go? I mean, the chance to get back into martial arts would be awesome, but we don't make much money, and this sounds expensive. My dad chimed in at this point. He has been disappointed in his son ever since the accident. His dream of having a football start was shattered. It's not my fault I got knocked off my bike. If he could see what I see, he would probably piss himself. Granted, I'm regularly in trouble for something or another. Almost weekly, but still, I'm his son. Shouldn't I be his pride and joy no matter what? It doesn't matter. They're stupid anyways. Son, with your record of troublemaking, poor and worsening grades, and overall general bad attitude, any price would be fine if it'd straighten you out. Wait, so I'm going to some kind of boot camp? Here Costus decided to chip in. It's not actually a boot camp. It is government, but it's a new program. You will be helping us perfect this venture. We offer lots of incentives, and your parents won't pay a dime. In fact, your parents will be receiving a good bit of cash for letting us use you. You will live on campus and will receive a regular allowance for personal spending. Supplies will be provided. On-site doctors will handle your medical needs. We even offer therapists for your PTSD and various other therapies. So far, Mr. Costas made this seem like some kind of rich kid's private school. Almost too good to be true. But this means that I get to get away from my self-entitled mum and dad. That right there will be enough for me to say yes. Plus, martial arts. Okay, I'm in. When do we leave? Excellent. Mr. Mendez, you will be picked up in about 1 week at your house. I believe that should give you enough time to finish what you need to here and say your goodbyes. Monday, 0800, and see you then." And with that, he stood up, shook the hands of my mum and dad and then the principal, and turned around and left. I watched as his aura disappeared around the corner. I might never know what he looks like, but this aura is unforgettable. Just to give you a little bit of backstory, last year I was riding my bike down an alleyway when I was knocked off and attacked by something I couldn't see. My face was the target. My eyes took a lot of the damage, as whatever it was tried to suck them out of my skull. Or at least that's what it felt like it was doing. Luckily, someone screamed and ran to help me. I heard something growl and then leap off me and run off. The pain was so bad, I finally passed out. I awoke the next day with bandages around my head and a lot of questions. Questions I never got the answers to, like, what happened? What attacked me? Will I be blind? That last one I got, but didn't get. When the bandages were taken off, I could see fuzz, just blobs of colour. The thing is that the blobs of colour were ringed by bright lights. I think they are auras, because every living thing has one. People have them, animals have them, plants have them, things have them, things that I have no idea of what they are, and other people can't see. I thought it was an effect of the accident and the damage to my eyes, but one time I saw one of these things. I was sitting in the driveway, mid-self-pity and depression. I was rolling my basketball in my hands because I couldn't see it except for the orange blob. I saw the aura and rolled the ball towards it. The ball came to a stop right next to it, and then the ball rolled back to my hand. "Who's there?" I said, a little scared, and at first I heard nothing except the distant singing of birds. Then, just when I thought I was imagining things, "You can see me?" I was stunned. "Who are you? One of the neighbor's kids?" "No, I am Mogwan. I am a scout. How is it that this one sees me? Scout cannot be seen. Scout is scout." Confused, I ask, "What is a Mogwan?"
Mogwan is guardian, judge, executioner, destroyers of sinners and servants of the Old Ones and loyalists of the Earth, Mother and Sky Father. You are an innocent still. You should not see me.
"I see your aura. I can't actually see you."
You have been attacked by a goblin. You are lucky to be alive.
"If Mogwan are what you say they are, then why are there so many bad people?" I was curious, and since I was an innocent, figured why not take advantage of this opportunity.
They take only societies, cities, armies. They only act when the sin has spread too far.
"They? Didn't you say you were one?"
I am Scout and I am small. They are Sentinels. They are big and mean and dangerous. I report, they destroy. I go now. Very busy, very busy.
Its squeaky voice faded away as it talked and made its way through the bushes into my neighbour's yard. I was left to consider what this meant. Things exist that can't be seen. Things that only I can see. Dangerous things. After that, I made notes about the aura colours and what they belonged to. People ranged between white to dark yellow and almost orange. Animals ranged between light blue to purple. Plants had a light green glow edged with black, and the unseen were many different colours. Brown, black, green and orange, and red, etc. Fast forward to a week after Mr. Costus met me at school. I had just turned 18 the previous Saturday and was feeling excited to finally get away from my parents. My dad ignored me and my mum bounced between excited for me to have such a good opportunity, then not happy about me going and didn't want me to go, so she unpacked my bags. Going to have such a good education, so she packed my bags. Worried I would have trouble making new friends, so again she unpacked my bags. I'll get to take martial arts again, and so she packed my bags again. Luckily, by the time Mr. Costus came to pick me up in the black SUV, my mum was in the "you're going" frame of mind, and my bags were packed. I kissed my mum and my dad gave me a furtive glance, and I was off. As we rode down the road, Mr. Costus gave me the rundown of what was really going on. Finally, I am Agent Costus and would prefer you address me as such. You are joining a group of very specialized individuals. We have recruited you because you have, for lack of a better term, the sight. Now, I was not lying when I said you will be continuing your education and receiving the best. You will also be trained by the best in martial arts and weapons. You will have access to technology that can give you regular sight again. And before you get too excited, it's not perfected yet, but should allow you to see. It's just a prototype. Our tech guy can work and improve as we go. But the concept is solid. You will be taking part in missions and will be paid very well for it. You will only receive a percentage of it for spending, as I said, but the rest will be put into a savings account, and when you graduate from high school courses, you will have full access to it all. You may then take college courses in whatever you wish. Your team are good people and will have your back. You won't be in much danger, and your safety will be their first priority. Any questions? I was floored by this presentation. I felt like something out of a movie. This only happens in movies, right? You're joking, right? I assure you, I have no sense of humour. Come on, this kind of thing is just stuff from bad movies for kids. Yes, but you are a very special case. You have a gift that is priceless and might save lives in the near future. Let's say I believe what you're saying. How did you find out that I can see things? Well, you weren't exactly discreet about it. You even posted some very interesting things online about it. From what I've seen, you were ridiculed pretty badly for it. We, however, could see that you truly believe this. Also, from the recon, we could tell that you were reacting to things that we couldn't see. Your psych notes from your therapist don't paint you as a schizophrenic. All signs point to an ability that is unique to you and might be of use to us. My jaw was on the floor. The more he talked, the more I believed him. If he was government, then all this would be a child's play to pull off. Now I was very excited. It was late afternoon by the time I arrived at my new home, away from home. The place looked like an abandoned farm, with helicopters in barns as well as some military trucks. There were soldiers and mechanics scattered in each building. Granted, all I could see were the blobs, but they looked familiar. Agent Costus led me to a small shack and motioned for me to join him. When I did, he revealed a bioscan pad and put his hand on it. I jumped a little when the floor started moving. I guess the actual base is underground. If I had any doubts about what Costus had told me before, I had none of them now. This was friggin' real. The shaft opened up on a wide expanse of what looked like a small town with buildings and offices. He led me to an office close by and produced a small stack of papers, explaining that these were non-disclosure forms, privacy forms, and so on and so forth. I signed everything I had to, and filled out my info. From there, he dropped the papers on the desk with a nameplate that I couldn't read thanks to my eyes. And yes, I can read Braille. I'm not very good at it yet, but I can at least find and sign where I need to. He leads me now to the back of their twisting halls and buildings. I'm taking you to the biolabs. Try and get you set up with the implants that will allow you to see properly again. Or would you rather go straight to your room to meet your team? Both were equally tempting. Implants first. It would be nice not to have to feel my way around this place. I can tell it's big and I would like to be able to see who I'm working with, so I don't have to identify everyone by sound and aura. Human auras can change sometimes. Not completely sure why. Alright, biolabs it is. We took another elevator and went further down. How deep does this place go? We reached the biolabs a couple of floors later. When we exited the elevator, a man comes up and Costus tells him to take my bag to LQ6. The man says okay and runs into the elevator and disappears. Another man comes up and his aura was strange. The colour was constantly changing, lighter, darker, lighter and darker. Ah, hacker. This is Sean Mendes. He is the Seer. Yes, I figured as much. Are you ready, Sean? I'm Terry, by the way. My code name is Hacker. I'm the one that designed the implant you shall receive today. Will this hurt? Oh no, not a bit. To be honest, it's just an injection of nanites. Tiny, tiny, tiny robots will be injected and then they will make their way to your brain and set to work fixing a problem. They are simple ones. I myself am filled with them, though the ones I have are way more complex. The ones you will be receiving will allow you to switch from your sight to regular sight. Or so that's the idea. It might work out that you will start to have sight even after your vision is fixed. Worst case scenario, your vision won't improve or it won't change too much. But let's not worry about that now. Your vision won't change right away. It will take time for the nanites to get into place and start making changes and fixing the damage and reroute impulses. Alright, Hacker, I'll leave him in your care. When he's ready, make sure to show him to his room and introduce him to the others. I will do. With that, Agent Costus turned and got on the elevator, and off he went. Terry led me to the open room and called for an assistant. Someone popped their head in, and he told her to bring them I can't remember the string of numbers and letters he spewed. Before I knew it, he grabbed my arm gently and prepped me, and then, boom, injection. It was cold and stung a bit, but other than that, it wasn't all that bad. Alright, all done. I'll keep you monitored for the next few days, just to make sure that you don't have any reactions. I'm not expecting any, but it always pays to be prepared for the worst. If there are any issues, I just have to press this button, and the nanites will disintegrate harmlessly into proteins and be flushed from the body. Now, let's go meet the rest of the team. Back in the elevator, and up this time. I walked out of the elevator and was led into a day room. I saw a couple of arcade games, a refrigerator, a couple of tables with chairs, a chess table, a huge 80-inch HD TV, and a couple of couches and comfortable-looking armchairs. There was a line of bookshelves filled with books and a cabinet that was left open. It looked like a game cabinet because I recognized Monopoly. I could see things and make out what they were. The change was so slight that by the time I had noticed, I could read the letters on the Monopoly box. I dropped to my knees and cried. I had been stuck in such a strange world for so long that finally being able to recognize things around me was like being home after a lifetime of homesickness. Terry dropped down next to me to make sure I was okay. I straightened up enough to let him know that I was just so happy that the little robots were working, that I could see again. Granted, everything was a strange grey colour, but I could see. I looked at Terry and realised that he was swole. I was expecting some short, chubby nerd. He looked like he never missed a day at the gym. As I regained my composure, Terry started to run some eye tests. Follow my finger, covering one eye, asking me to name an object, and then the other, etc. Until he asked me what colour his eyes were. I told him everything was grey. He looked pensive for a moment and said, well, at least there's an improvement. Honestly, I thought it would take longer. I understand that your eyes are still messed up. The nanites are just translating what information your eyes are giving them, and what you are seeing is the outcome of that translation. I can make a few adjustments, but let's test your sight. I'm not sure what you see or interpret. At this, I cut him off before he said more that confused me. I see auras. It's like a glow that surrounds living things. I can tell what I'm looking at due to the colour of each aura. Okay, so do you see an aura now? I can actually. By the way, yours keeps changing colours. It's strange, because it usually takes time for auras to change like yours does. Maybe it's because of the nanites in my body. What's because of the nanites, brother? I turned around and the new guy walked in closely, followed by 3 other people. At this, Terry began introductions. My code name apparently was Seer, and then I met Ty, Street Fighter, Tak, Jake, Gunslinger, and Mia, Blade. My jaw dropped as I saw Mia. She was the most beautiful woman I had seen in a long time. I realised I was staring and turned away in embarrassment. She must have noticed and chuckled as she walked over and kissed Terry. At this, I couldn't help but think, well, there goes that thought. We gathered around the tables as a couple of guys wheeled some carts in with trays of food, and apparently dinner time. Steak, loaded baked potatoes, corn on the cob with plenty of butter, and a slice of angel food cake chocolate frosting and a strawberry on top. My stomach growled and everyone laughed. We dug right in, except Tak, who had dropped to his head and clasped his hands in prayer. We ate and chatted a bit, mostly about me. Time to get to know the noob, I guess. We talked, answered and asked a lot of questions, and jokes were thrown about. Everyone wanted to get to know the colour of their auras, and after dinner, the trays were taken away. Tack and Terry were at the chessboard. Ty, Jake and Mia were talking about our mission that was coming up, and shot me glances every now and then. The issue I was having was that I knew this, but wasn't looking at them. I was in front of the television watching a sitcom, but I could see everything around me. I'm talking 360 degrees of vision. This distracted me, because I never had this happen before. Not only that, I could sense the auras of things under us. There must have been 100 things below us. This scared me. I got up and asked Terry about it, and he looked confused. "Who told you about them? I don't remember anyone mentioning it." "I don't fully understand it. This is all way new. But I can sense the auras from here. I can also see everything around me. Watch." Without looking, I yelled to Ty to hold up some fingers and not tell me how many. 4. He was shocked and held up another number without me asking. 2. 5. Now you're pointing at Mia. With this, he stood up and looked a little confused and very intimidated. When he regained himself, a second later he said, "That's pretty cool. How did you do that?" The rest of the evening was spent testing my now new abilities. Terry thought it had to do with the improved vision, that it might have had this ability if my eyes had not gotten damaged. As night came on, we had enough excitement, and I was shown to my room. The next few days were spent testing a range of my abilities. As it turns out, if I concentrated hard enough, I could turn them off and on at will. We practiced and each shift got easier and easier. I found out that I could see a couple of seconds in the future and a couple of seconds into the past. And that one was fun to figure out. Rock, paper, scissors was like playing poker and being able to see everyone's hands and being dealt a royal flush each hand. I did homework when we weren't working on gaining control of my abilities, and as it turned out, Mia and Ty were to be my martial arts and weapon trainers. Jake even gave me some gun lessons, and soon a month had passed. I kept in touch with my parents with emails twice a week, never revealing the truth of what I was doing. As far as they knew, I was attending classes and training and everything else that a good student does. I told them that they had a surgeon come, and if they signed the form, he could improve my sight enough for me to be able to see well, enough with the glasses that I should have an ability to read again, but would need heavy-duty glasses. All lies, but it made it easier than having to be constantly acting blind. They signed it and sent it back right away. My dad instantly started talking about football, but when I told him I had no interest in playing football again, he went right back to having no interest in me. Oh well. The next week we were given our mission, and we were going hunting. The target was to be a dragon. A dragon! I was in total shock. From the looks of everyone else, they were equally shocked. Tack was the first one to speak. "A dragon? You're... Never mind. I know. No humour. But seriously, how come we never heard of them being real before?" "Because we never had a way of finding one. We could find the signs of one, but no way of finding it and capturing it. They can camouflage their skin and adjust their body temperature so well that they are imperceptible. In fact, they seem to be able to hide from anything we have to detect. That is until now. You, Mr. Mendez, are our secret weapon here. Your ability to see auras will, and hopefully, give us an edge and make this a success. In addition to your newfound abilities, makes you vital. Everyone else, your job is to protect Seer. That is top priority. Second priority, see if dragons are intelligent enough to communicate, and, if need be, trank and capture the dragon. If it is not intelligent, then go ahead and capture it." Doesn't that seem a bit extreme? Mia voiced my own misgivings. "This is diplomatic and useful. If it can talk, we can try diplomacy. If it is just an animal, then we capture it and find out how to counter dragon attacks. Dragons raid farms for the livestock, and then, if they are found, they kill innocent people. These attacks are rare, but need to stop. Gather your gear and be ready in 30. Tack, you're in charge on this one. I'll be staying here to make sure all preparations are in place. in case we receive a hostile reptile. At this, everyone got up and got ready. I put on the body armor I was given for my safety. I was given goggles to protect my eyes from any further damage, and they actually helped bring some color back to my vision. My weapon was a paintball gun that would be used to make the creature visible and to give Jake a target. My paintballs were actually modified darts that were also tranq darts. The tip was tranq, and upon impact would inject, and then the rear would shatter and spread paint, splattering the target in bright fluorescent paint. We spent the better part of the day travelling to our destination. Found out that signs of dragons were easy to find. Scorch marks, scars that shed, and scratches on trees. We were in another country and surrounded by forest. We spent the better part of the evening setting up base camp. We ate and Tack poured over research notes and gave us plans to follow for the next day. Details were in depth, but the plan sounded solid. The next day, we got up and headed out. I was up front and using my 360 view to scan everywhere. I saw animals and plants. Even more, I saw the unseen. They didn't seem to want to bother us. One of my gifts was the ability to sense auras through solid objects, and when I focused on them, I could see them through the object. Well, to an extent. I could now see the unseen as well as their aura. It was around 5 PM when we found long deep scratches in a tree, a territorial marking. The grass around the tree had been burnt, and we found our target. We continued to walk until the sun had set. We set up for the next campsite and got dinner going. Tack said we were to continue with the original plan, but to take it slowly. We didn't want to accidentally look over any sign of danger. The next day started the same. Up early and packed up and moved on. I was scanning everything. We travelled for maybe 2 hours when I saw it. It was maybe 20 feet ahead of us to the left at the edge of the clearing. I motioned for Tack and informed him where the dragon was. I could only see the aura. The camouflage was too good. It wasn't some kind of magic that hid it. It was actual pigment modification. Tack had me and Jake take position at the edge of the clearing, hidden in the bushes. Ty and Mia were behind us. I know I forgot to mention this, but Terry didn't come with us into the forest. He was back at the main base. He only came because he was in charge of keeping the dragon sedated, and because he wanted to see an actual real-life dragon. Tack walked out into the middle of the clearing. He looked in the general direction of the creature and said loudly, "Excuse me, Mr. Dragon. I know you are there and I know you can hear me. If you can understand me, please respond. I mean you no harm, unless you choose to attack me. I come in peace." For a moment, there was no response. Tack pressed the button on his radio and asked if I was sure he was there, and I told him I was. Then we heard a loud growl that turned into growling words.
"Thou art brave fool to disturb a dragon from his slumber. Clever thou art to find the sleeping dragon. I sense thou art not alone. There must be one gifted with the sight to find me. I would say the gift was the result of a goblin attack. Very interesting indeed. Show me respect by showing thyself, and I shall return the respect. Only then shall we parley."
Do as he says. Stow your weapons. It would appear that they won't be needed. We followed Tack's orders and stowed our weapons and made our way into the clearing. When we were all standing in the clearing, the dragon stood and moved into the clearing as well. He was the size of a horse. Scales the size of a human hand were on the length of his body. A plate of sharp bone the shape of a spade was at the end of his tail. Each talon was as long as the human finger. Lion-like teeth poked out from his jaws. A tuft of fur was on his chin and ran down the length of his neck like a horse's mane. His eyes were yellow and orange and a cat-like pupil. Large round nostrils sat on his crocodile-like snout, and his wings were folded and looked like bat-like wings. He walked on all fours, but I got the feeling that he could walk on 2 legs as well. And finally, his scales and his fur rippled as they changed colour. His natural colour was hard to put. It was green, but as he moved I saw purple and brown and blue. It was like the chameleon paint people get on their cars, and acted the same way. It eyed each of us in turn until his eyes settled on me.
Thou art the one with the sight.
Nervously, I answered, Yes, sir.
Thou art lucky to be alive. Goblins don't intentionally give that gift. It is a side effect of their venom. It seems to have severely damaged thine eyes. They like eyes the most. If they are intact, thine gift of sight would be quite powerful. Thou hast some artificial enhancement allowing ye to see. Curious. What is it ye have come to speak with me about?
At this, Tak spoke. We came to see if there was some way to get dragons to stop attacking farms and killing people. We would prefer a peaceful ceasefire. The dragon bellowed a laugh, and when he was done, looked at Tak with amusement.
Not all dragons are intelligent. Not all dragons can talk. Some are just animals. Only we old ones, we immortal few, we leaders of the Morgwan.
At this, everyone except me and Mia flinched and looked horrified. Jake put his hand on his pistol and looked nervous.
It would appear thou hast encountered one of our servants before and survived. But ye, innocent, or be ye champions?
Tai answered this question. The second time I encountered one, he called me a champion. I assume that when someone takes one on and wins, then they are champions.
Yes, to kill a Morgwan is to be champion. Champions are honored and their sins erased. Fear not champions. I may be judge, but I am not executioner. I can and will kill, but thou art champions. All except this innocent Seer and this woman. Her sin is thick. Pray ye that thou doesn't cross a Morgwan. As for thine question, kill the beasts, even us old ones see them as pestilence, vermin that shame us. They can never become an old one, for their lives are not counted among the immortal. They were not created to restore balance, but to mock the Sky Father and Earth Mother. They have a few of our powers, but are a pale imitation of our glory. If ye wish, I shall travel with ye. I am very interested in this Seer. I sense he has a grand future, an important future. I shall heal him and teach him how to tap into his grand gift. It will be a great honor to teach such a special individual. In return, I'll teach ye all I can about these lesser dragons, including methods to kill them where they stand. Quell their numbers as thou pleasest. No old ones will interfere. As for thou, Seer, I shall bestow upon ye a name that will grant protection from the Morgwan and any other dark being that reveres the Sky Father and Earth Mother. Thine new name shall be Ostad. It means rock heart, a name blessed by the Earth Mother. But take heart, young one. You will have a difficult road ahead of ye. Thou shalt be a paladin, and I shall be thine mentor.
No one said a thing in all of this. We were stunned, especially me. So much to take in. And when he mentioned that I had a great future, everyone looked at me like my head had started spinning. And to be honest, I felt like my head was spinning. After a short conversation with Brizane, the dragon's name as it turns out, he joined us and together we all returned to the main camp. Upon return, Terry lost his mind. He was every bit of a fanboy. Mia laughed and you could see the love in her eyes. Jake just looked embarrassed. The dragon followed us to the home base. Turns out that he refused to be kept underground, and so they began work on a barn specially to house him. That was the start of my new daily lessons to become a paladin on top of my high school courses and martial arts training. My plate is very full, but at least I'm loving it, and I'm getting paid tons. I'm loving being a natural. Wow. Awesome stuff, Smokey Beardman, once again. A little bit different this time, but still absolutely wonderful and exciting. As ever, guys, you know the drill. Please do let us know down below in the comments what you thought. Please do like and share. It really does help build the channel and our community further. And of course, don't forget to hashtag Team Fear. I hope you're all well and happy and looking forward to the weekend. And above all, remember, be safe, not sorry.